Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Flight Deck Captain Wilson speaking. Firstly, on behalf of our crew, I'd like to welcome you on board this flawless 195 World Tour service from Kinshasa to Luanda. In countries, it is the Democratic Republic of the Congo to Angola. Departure time is going to be 20 to 4 in the afternoon, and the flight time is expected to be about 50 minutes, so we're back to regular proceedings after the somewhat unusual flight 93, which wasn't great, to be honest. I'll be glad to get a normal flight back under the belt. Normal proceedings shall resume with this one, heading south to the capital of Angola, Luanda. But yeah, what else to say? In-flight entertainment, I might put on some scary stories. It's that time of year. So I might have a look at something like that. See how we go. Get the safety demo on in a minute. Get the plane set up for departure. But the weather's cleared up a little bit as well. I've been down on the ground here for a couple of hours, and yeah, it was stormy weather coming in a couple of hours ago, but it has seemed to have thinned out a little bit. Weather's improved, so we'll get through any cloud pretty quickly anyway. But it's looking clear, looking all right now. It was a dodgy final descent, or dodgy descent as a whole. Just cruising at like 1,000 feet for 10 minutes. Coming in from the Brazzaville-Kinshasa leg was unusual, to say the least. Not something I want to be doing every day. But yeah. Flight's going to be opening up again now. Like, there's been a lot of short flights, 20 minutes, half an hour. But now we're opening up. This one's 50 minutes, and then we'll be on to Zambia from there. That might be another hour plus. And yeah, so flights are opening up as we get into the southern part of the African continent. But yeah, thank you for joining. I will set up the plane now. Shouldn't be any dramas. Should be up and down. And like I say, a 50-minute flight. So what, 20 minutes up, quarter of an hour across, 20 minutes down, something like that. Maybe less than that, 10 minutes. 10 minutes across, 20 minutes down, something like that. Anyway, standard length of a flight in this world tour is about this length. About the hour mark seems to be most flights, to be honest. But yeah, let's get on with it. No time to be messing about. So let's do it now. We are in the UK time zones here. 20 to 4 departure time. I will get the safety demo on now, and I'll speak to you when necessary. But we haven't got ILS in as well, but the flight path pretty much leads us directly into the orientation of the runway, so it's not too bad. I don't have to make any mad deviations late on, so it should be pretty straightforward. And yeah, heading down, basically down the western coast, or the southwestern coast, as it is, of Africa. So yeah, welcome to flight 94 of 210. It's Kinshasa to Luanda. Welcome aboard.
Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest usable exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Hold the mask in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat. Remove from the pouch and put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate it by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into this tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. The cabin crew can assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. Further information regarding your safety on board can be found in the in-flight magazine. We hope you have a great flight.
All these stories anywhere you listen to podcasts on the Let's Read podcast. We went on a camping trip to Harriman State Park. It was me, Simon, and Eddie, just the three of us, looking to get away from the city for a weekend. We planned it for weeks, packed our gear, and drove up from Brooklyn on a Friday afternoon. And the park was quiet when we got there, and we set up camp near one of the smaller lakes, a spot that we'd picked off of a map because it was far from the main trails. By the time we had the tent set up and a fire going, it was already getting dark, but the first night was awesome. We had hot dogs, a few beers, and the first serious catch-up in months. And the next day, we decided to hit the trails. It was late morning, and we didn't have any kind of plan. We just followed a trail until it kind of petered out and then kept going anyway. My buddy Eddie had his phone out, snapping pictures of mushrooms and random rocks, while Simon kept talking about finding a good spot for lunch. I was just along for the walk, half listening to them argue about whether there were Bigfoots in New York, and after a couple of hours, the trees started thinning out and we came up on a small lake that we hadn't seen on the map. It was small, less than 100 yards across, and right there near the shore was this lone wooden shack. It wasn't much to look at. The wood was this sort of weathered grayish-brown type and splintered in various places like it had been sitting there for decades at this point. The roof kind of sagged a little, and there was no glass in the single window, just a square hole with a torn scrap of curtain hanging inside. The door was left ajar, not locked, just creaking on its hinges when the wind pushed against it. Simon said it looked abandoned, and Eddie agreed, but I wasn't so sure. Something about it felt off, but we were curious, so we went closer. Inside, it was pretty dim. The light from the window barely reached the corners, and the air just smelled musty, like old wet dirt and old wood. There wasn't much in there. A wooden table in the middle, a couple of broken chairs tipped over in the corner, and some rusty nails sticking out of the walls. And the table caught my eye first. It was rough, splintered, and covered in some dark stains. These sort of big, uneven patches that looked almost black in the shadows, and I ran my fingers over one, but I couldn't tell what it was. Eddie said it was probably bloodstains. Simon agreed, pointing at the walls. They were lined with hooks, maybe a dozen of them, screwed into the boards at different heights. Some were bent, others rusted, but they were empty. No tools, no ropes, nothing hanging there now, and it made sense to think a hunter had used this place maybe to skin deer or whatever else he'd shot. And that's what we told ourselves anyway. It was creepy, but I suppose not unexplainable. And we continued poking around for a few minutes. Simon kicked at the curtains, and Eddie took a picture of the table, saying he'd show it to his brother who hunted upstate. And I just stood by the door, pretty much ready to leave. To me, that shack did not feel right, and then when we stepped outside, I was glad to be breathing lake air again. We started walking back toward the trail, figuring that we'd head to camp and eat, and it was around about then that Simon tripped. He was a few steps ahead of me, near the side of the shack, when His foot caught on something. He stumbled, his arms went flailing, but didn't fall. Eddie and I caught up, and
I didn't just go off the end of the runway. I would never do that. I'd never make such an amateur mistake as to go too far off the end of the runway.
Rusted in certain spots and half covered in soil. And at first I thought it was a knife or maybe a hatchet, something a hunter might have dropped and forgotten. Simon crouched down and brushed some dirt off of it, but it didn't budge. He said that it was stuck. Eddie handed me his water bottle and told us to dig it up. I grabbed a stick and started scraping at the dirt, and Simon used his hands, pulling up clumps of earth and just tossing it aside. And the more we dug, the bigger things got. It wasn't a tool. That much was there. There was a curved edge, and then another, and soon we could see it was hollow inside. And after 10 minutes, we had it mostly uncovered. It was a helmet, or at least something that looked like one. The metal was heavy, maybe iron, pitted and rusted, but solid. It was tall, pointed at the top like a pyramid, and the front had 2 slits for eyes shaped like crosses. Not the kind of crosses that you might see at a church. They were sharper, uneven, like someone had hacked them in with a chisel. And the whole thing was strange. It definitely didn't belong here, and it creeped me out just looking at it. Eddie steps back, asking what it was, and Simon picked it up, actually grunting at how much it weighed, and held it out in front of him, saying something like, looks like a clan hood or something, he said, but metal. And I didn't think it was that. The clan didn't wear iron pyramids on their heads, and as far as I knew, it felt older and heavier, like it wasn't meant just for show. Simon turned it over, looking inside, and he said it smelled like rust and mud, and then smiled and said, "I'm gonna put it on." "No, you're not," Eddie said, snatching it from him. And he set it on the ground and wiped his hand on his jeans. "It's filthy. At least clean it first." Simon shrugged, but I could tell that he was serious about trying it on later. But I didn't like it. The helmet gave me a bad feeling, like it was almost watching us through those cross slits. But I didn't say anything. I didn't want to sound paranoid like I've been listening to your channel for so long. And we left it there by the shack and headed back to camp. The hike back was pretty quiet though. None of us talked much, and we just kind of kept our eyes on the trail.
Right, I think we've got a big problem. I think we've got a big problem here. It wanted me to go back that way and loop round, and because I haven't done that, it hasn't triggered that if I go into autopilot, it might about 180 turn us. I'm gonna watch the speed a minute. Yeah, this autopilot transition, this is not something I've experienced yet. I have experienced it before on this game. Okay, is it going to accept that we're on the flight plan and forget that initial loop? It is. Okay, I think we're all right. I know. Is it gonna 180 us? Yeah. No. It's yeah. Right. Do you know what? I've experienced this before, years ago. But basically, because I didn't follow the flight path coming out of the airport, I thought it would... I'm not manually flying all the way there. I'll just have to... Well, let's just see what... Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's see what it does here. Where are we going? This is potentially adding like 20 minutes on, by the way. This is not good. Not ideal, this. It is something I've experienced before, but not in the world tour. I should have just... You can set up the flight plan one or two ways. You can go virtually direct, so you're just heading airport to airport, or you can set up a proper flight plan. And this one has a proper flight plan, and I should have just set it I should have just set it point A to point B. But instead, it's a proper flight plan. And because I haven't done the initial loop that it wanted me to do, I thought I'd be all right. It'll know that I've just skipped that bit, but it hasn't. It's not happy with it. So we're going back to the beginning to loop back round again. Let's see what happens here. I hope it doesn't go completely haywire. It's looking like it's... Yeah, brilliant. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah, so there's the runway there that we've just taken off from. In fact, you could probably see where the previous flight was. Yeah, you can see the runway there. So this is actually a great little moment to see the Brazzaville Kinshasa. So you can actually see the airport over there on the other side of the river. You actually see the two runways there, and then here is the Kinshasa side. So you can actually see the whole debacle. I should have just come across, really, shouldn't I? I went miles and miles in that direction, loop round. I over-egged it, really. I didn't need to do it. I mean, we get a good view of the whole situation now, how close these two capital cities are, these two countries. I wonder who owns the bit in the middle. That's got to be a dangerous no man's land. Yeah. Yeah, who owns the island in the middle there? The Republic of Congo or the Democratic Republic of Congo? Who knows? But yeah, so that is the distance between the two airports. It's 14 miles. So we're back on the flight plan, but yeah, this is extending the flight by a quarter of an hour or more. It is what it is, isn't it? Hopefully it'll do the full loop and we'll come back on ourselves and it'll all be fine. But anyway, it's something I've experienced, but not. But it's the first time it's cropped up in the world tour. I should have followed this. I should have followed the route. I should have followed the route. Anyway, I'll shut up and we'll carry on with this cabin in the woods story, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm invested in it. Are you? What's it doing now? Where are we going now? Oh, what is going on? Why are we going this way? Or is it setting itself? Is it giving us a wider? Will it straighten out now to then go loop the other way? Or are we just going right? What is it? It's gone haywire, this, hasn't it? Yeah, it's just a tour. It's just a Kinshasa Brazzaville tour, basically. Yeah. Oh, brilliant! Just what I wanted to do. It's a tourist flight. It's oh my God. Right, that bit of the flight plan's lit up pink now. So we're doing a full. It's more than even a 180, you know. We're doing like a 270-degree turn here. And then are we clear to go south now or what? Are we clear to move on from Kinshasa or what? Yeah, we're at 27,000 feet. We're still over the airport that we took off from. Yeah, we're actually in miles. Look, there's the runway there that we took off from. So, miles from departure, 0. Altitude, 28,000 feet. It's gone well so far, hasn't it, this? Yeah. Oh my God. Are we clear to go south now? Are we gonna straighten up in a minute here and get where we're going? Come on. Come on now, straighten out. I'm not doing another loop. Come on, sort yourself out now. I'll be levelling out at 39,000 feet. We've not even got out of bloody Kinshasa yet. Oh, God. Come on. It's nearly a full 360-degree turn, this. Come on. Come on, let's level the wings. Come on, that's enough. You're not going round again, are you? Come on now. No, don't go round again. You've got to level it out. Okay. Okay, it's just... Right, and then we should veer off to the south now. Yeah, there we go. And now it's happy, and now, yeah, 30,000 feet, and we now can say we are on our way. It was better to just let the autopilot do that, and it's cost us like 10-15 minutes. It's better just to let the autopilot mess about like that, rather than just go, all right, I'll manually fly there, and it opens a can of worms that I can't be bothered with. So, yeah, there you go. So we've had a little loop-de-loop tour of the Brazzaville-Kinshasa area of Africa, and now we're finally on our way. Runway's down there somewhere, and we're at 32,000 feet. And so, yeah, just a little geography tour before we then set off to Luanda, Angola. Okay, brilliant. Are we happy with that now? Right, let's carry on with the story. Brilliant, innit? Oh, God. Just when you think you'd seen it all on Floors 195, whoa, not a bit of it. The surprises in the tank yet. But, have we crashed it? No, we haven't. Have we done a loop-the-loop tour of Brazzaville-Kinshasa at 30,000 feet? Maybe. But are we still in the air? Of course we are. World tour continues. Flight 94 is finally underway. Let's get back to the story.
And by the time we got to the tents, the sun was starting to go down low. We built a fire, cooked some pasta on the camp stove, and sat around eating it with some jarred sauce on top. We talked, and before long, that helmet came up again. Eddie said it was probably some art project, maybe a prop from a movie shoot that got left behind. Simon, though, he didn't buy it. It's too heavy for that, he said. Why bury it? And I didn't have an answer. I just kept thinking about those stains on the table and the hooks on the walls. The shack didn't feel like some hunter's place anymore, not with that thing outside. But we let it drop and finished eating and stayed by the fire until it burned down to just embers. It was after sundown, maybe about 9 or 10, when Simon got up. The sky was dark and there was no moon, just stars and the faint glow of the coals. And he didn't say anything, just grabbed his flashlight and started walking off into the trees. Hey, where you going? I called after him. He didn't answer though and just kept going. Eddie and I looked at each other. He's getting the helmet, he said, and I nodded. We could have stopped him, but we didn't. Simon was gone for a while, longer than it should have taken to walk to the shack and back. Eddie started pacing, muttering about how stupid he was for walking off on his own like that, and I just sat by the fire, poking at it with a stick, trying not to think about that helmet sitting out there in the dark. When Simon finally came back, he was empty-handed. He looked pale and he wouldn't look at us. Eddie asked what happened. Simon sat down on a log and just stared at the ground. I threw it, he said. Out in the woods somewhere. Didn't want it looking at me. Eddie asked what he meant by looking at him, and Simon didn't answer. He just shook his head. And Eddie continued to press him, but Simon wouldn't say any more. He looked shaken, like he'd seen something he couldn't explain. And we didn't push any harder than that, and the fire was already dying and none of us wanted to stay up much longer. We climbed into the tent, zipped it shut, and tried to go to sleep, and I just laid there for a while listening to the wind and Simon's uneven breathing. I kept picturing that helmet though, those cross slits starting out from wherever he tossed it, and wondered what kind of person would make a thing like that. And the next morning we packed up early. No one said it, but we all wanted out of there. The drive back was quiet, just the hum of the engine and the occasional car passing us on the highway. We didn't talk about the shack or the helmet, not then and not later, but it stayed with me. Sometimes I'd catch myself wondering what it was, where it came from. I'd think about that shack and the stains and the hooks and that thing buried in the dirt.
Well, so nothing actually happened?
It didn't feel like
the
some
scariest story in the
tool or
world.
some lost prop. It felt like something darker, something that none of us were supposed to find. And years later, I looked up Harriman State Park online, trying to see if anyone else had come across. Across that shack. I didn't find much, just trail maps and reviews from hikers. Nothing about a lake with a shack or a buried helmet. Maybe we'd wandered further off the path than we'd thought. And maybe it's still out there, rustling in the woods where Simon tossed it. I don't know. I haven't been back and I really don't plan to. And whatever it was, I'm glad we left it behind, but sometimes, late at night, I still see those cross slits in my head, and I wondered if we walked away from something worse than we'll ever understand. I think people know this already by now, but most adult shops are nothing like people used to expect. I mean, sure, I'm sure they started out like that.
Hey?
Men in long coats,
Not sure where this
buying
story's
dirty
going.
magazines hidden inside brown paper bags, and then scurrying in and out as if
Channel
they were committing a
taken
crime.
down.
These days, they're actually very clean, tasteful premises filled with a host of
God, what
diverse
is this,
clientele.
man?
There's no peep show behind a plastic curtain, no sticky pink carpet underfoot, no faint sounds of moaning coming from somewhere in the back, no 80s weird videos playing on a grainy TV bolted to a ceiling corner. There were stores like that, though, and I worked in one. And I'll just call it Angel's Delight, which was actually the name of the rival business my bosses hated. It was in a single-story mall on the outskirts of bumfrick nowhere, and even being a store that sold adult toys and dolls, we were still one of the classiest joints in that whole godforsaken building. I don't like to speak badly of others, but man, some of the motley crew that I got to know during my years in that place. There was the tattoo artist who I'm convinced could have made a stick figure look like complete crap. And there was the piercing store that basically guaranteed a ride on the sepsis train with every ear piercing. The liquor store where, rumor had it, the liquor was the least intoxicating thing they sold. Then there was the inexplicably high-fashion boutique run by an elderly, very conservative couple who were about as fire and brimstone as you could really get. And yet, every Friday night, they'd come into Angel's Delight and buy some of the most specific adult films we stocked. Just doing our part to get this smut off the streets, the husband would say to me every single time while the wife clicked her tongue disapprovingly. If it was really for that purpose, then tell me, why did they only rid the streets of adult films that featured a very specific whole, a very specific racial combination, and came from a very specific production company whose movies had a serialized plot? Maybe they watched it for the articles. Genuinely, I've heard about the articles so many times that I lost count. And my dude, I work here. I don't care. I'm not judging you. Hell, if you didn't slither in to buy hardcore adult mags, my bosses wouldn't be able to pay my wages and I'd have to take out student loans just to get through college. And that's why I was working there. I'd attended college for 1 year, and the crushing anxiety of even a partial student loan for that 1 year had led me to put school on hold and spend a few years working to earn enough to pay the rest of my way through. Adult shop manager.
Nah, it's not what I expected, to be honest. Let's have a listen to this. What are we talking about? Someone buying porn movies. Brilliant. Alright, let's go.
Team
What's
said
this?
no. Formula One said no, but Cadillac didn't care. 2 bases, $1 billion.
This is about Cadillac joining F1. Yeah, this is a bit more light. I mean, I thought it was scary stories. Well, that's what it's meant to be. Some weird old couple buying pornos is not what I expected. And someone digging up a medieval helmet or something. Oh my god, like, scariest thing ever. Like, literally nothing happened. An old metal helmet. Right, brilliant. Right, anyway, that was a flop. Let's see what Cadillac's saying.
The team said no. Formula One said no, but Cadillac didn't care. 2 bases, $1 billion.
Yeah.
For the first time in 10 years, a brand new manufacturer is joining Formula
Yeah.
One. And they're not just fighting the stopwatch, they're
Okay.
fighting the system. This is the story of Cadillac, America's newest hope in the world's fastest sport, and one of the biggest gambles in modern F1 history. Because this isn't just about racing, it's about proving that America belongs at the top of global motorsport. Cadillac and General Motors are betting over $1 billion that they can build a team capable of beating Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari. on their very first try. But
On the
question
very
is simple.
first try,
Can
what?
money buy speed?
Yes. Simply put, yes.
For Cadillac, the stakes couldn't be higher. They're investing over $1 billion to create a team capable of fighting the best in the world. And that's just to get started.
Yeah.
If the project fails, they don't lose just money, they lose credibility. Because this isn't a
Yeah.
private outfit that's just taking a shot in the dark. This
Yeah.
is General Motors.
Yeah, it is a
one of the
risk.
biggest car manufacturers on earth.
Yeah.
The company behind Chevrolet,
Yeah.
GMC, and
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Yeah.
A brand that built its name on American prestige. And now the name will go will to will with Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. If it works, Cadillac could do something no American team has ever done.
Right, win a
Become
race.
A true world championship contender in Formula One. Imagine
Oh, it's
a
gonna
GM
take
built
years,
power
sure.
unit winning at Monaco with an American flag above its garage. For General Motors,
No.
it's a chance to transform a road car giant into a global motorsport powerhouse. And for Andretti, Cadillac's technical partner of the project,
Can we come back to this when they line up 21st and 22nd on the grid and they're a second and a half off the rest of the field, or what? He's on about winning championships, winning the Monaco Grand Prix. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
it's the final step in a journey that began almost 50 years ago when Mario Andretti became America's last Formula One world champion in 1978.
Wow.
Now his family's name is back, carrying the weight of a dream. For Cadillac and Andretti, this isn't just a business move, it's legacy. To
Okay.
prove that America can win in Formula One again.
1978. So what are you talking? 88, 98, 08, 18, 28, nearly 60 years. What, 57 years ago, bruh? 58 years ago. Nah.
$1 billion. It's a number that almost sounds impossible until you realize how quickly Formula One can make it disappear. So where does Cadillac's money go? The team is funded by General Motors, the global automotive giant, and TWG Global, an investment group with stakes in everything from LA Dodgers to Chelsea Football Club. But behind all sits Andretti Global, the original driving force
Right.
behind the project. They handed Cadillac the naming rights, but they're still deeply involved. In fact, Cadillac's future home base in Fishers, Indiana is built on Andretti-owned land. Now, that $1 billion number, nearly half of it, $450 million, vanished before the team had even turned a wheel. That was the dilution fee, the price Cadillac
What?
had to pay just to join the grid.
No.
When the news first broke that
I didn't know that. 450 million just to enter the game. No, broski. It's 450 million just to play. Just to phone them up and say, can we play as well? Yeah, 450 million, please. Oh, that's just your entry fee to join the game. No. No, no, no. It's criminal. It's criminal. It's barbaric. 450 million to play the game. Oh my god, bro, that's insane. Even if it's 100 million, even 10 million, all right, you get 10 million, all right. 50 million, bit steep that, but all right, it's Formula One. You'd pay 50 million to get in the gang. 450 million just to play their game. No. It's crazy.
a new team wanted in, the existing 10 teams weren't happy.
Well, yeah, because they get a slightly slightly thinner slice of the cake, don't they? Anyway, we're starting the descent in about 5 minutes, so I need to keep an eye on that. But oh, mate,
More teams meant less prize
Yeah.
money for everyone. So to
the
keep
cake's being
newcomers
divided
out,
into 12,
FYA
into
raised the
11
entry-
slices instead of 10 slices. So they all want to make that back. So you're giving 450 million to the existing 10 teams just to, so that they don't lose out, and then they'll go, all right, then you can come in. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? 450 million just to it's not even, not even begun. That's just, oh, I can't get over that. I didn't realise it was that. Even if it was 50 million, you go, all right, it's a lot. But it's Formula One, 450 million just to enter the game.
From 200 million to 450 million.
Oh,
paid it anyway.
Cadillac paid it anyway. Just paid. Imagine that as a bank transfer. You're going 450. Yeah, 400. 400. Are you sure? Can we do this in No. Can we do this in installments? No. 450 million. Right. What's the account number? Sort code. 450 million. How many cars have they sold to do this? This is oh, God's sake, man. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, what the fuck, dude?
$150 million has gone into building a new state-of-the-art facility in Concord, North Carolina.
Yeah, so the facility is 150 million. Wow.
Set to be finished by early 2027. Meanwhile, most of the car's manufacturing and assembly happens in Fishers, Indiana, at Andretti's new global.
They can't afford.
HQ.
I mean, the bottom line is they can't.
The entry fee from
They can't afford this to fail, they can't just have 3 years at the back and knock it on the head, can they? They've got to be in this for the long run, because they're not going to turn up and be mid of pack and scoring points from the off. I would highly doubt it. I would guess that they're going to start 21st and 22nd on the grid for virtually the entirety of 2026, if I'm being honest. If it's any better than that, then kudos to them. Because the other 10 teams have got even Haas have got a decade under the belt now. So if they're anything other than back of the grid for season one, but they can't let that phase them. They just got to go through that. They got maybe 2027, maybe get an errant P14 and it's like a win, and then 2028, score a point, and then they've just got to go through that. But mate, it's just, oh my God.
450 million. Cadillac paid it anyway.
Right,
but
anyway,
that was
we're
only the beginning.
Start the descent in a minute.
Another $150 million has gone into building a new state-of-the-art facility in Concord, North Carolina. The heart of Cadillac's future power unit operation, set to be finished by early 2027. Meanwhile, most of the car's manufacturing and assembly happens in Fishers, Indiana, at Andretti's new Global Motorsports HQ. There's also a smaller base in Warren, Michigan, and a crucial outpost in Silverstone, England, where Cadillac racing and chassis design are already on the way.
Is that the way to run it?
Because it's deep inside UK's legendary motorsport valley,
Yeah.
home to 9 out of 10 existing F1 teams.
Well, this
By
is
setting
it. And
up
then you've
shop
got
there,
3 bases in the
Cadillac can recruit
US.
top-tier engineers without forcing them to move halfway across the world.
Wow.
And then there's development. Cadillac has secured access to Toyota's F1 wind
That's
tunnel
crucial.
in Germany.
That's
one of the
crucial.
best in the world.
So that's
It's where
another
the first
part. So they've got 3 bases in America. They've got a Silverstone, what did he call it? Not even a base, but a Silverstone stop. Factory or whatever. And then a wind tunnel in Germany. Jesus Christ. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Dynamic concepts will come to life. But all of this infrastructure costs more than just money. It costs people. Unlike Red Bull or Mercedes,
staff.
who had decades to refine their staff, Cadillac started from zero.
Oh my
They've been
God.
hiring at an incredible rate. Over 400 employees by mid-2025. Already more than Haas. and
400.
growing by the day.
Already more than Haas. No. Oh my God. 400 staff, and they're 6 months out from. They're 9 months away from this new season. Well, 6 months now, I suppose. But oh my God, so they've got 400 people on the payroll, and they're not even. They're 6 months out. But they've got to, haven't they? What are you going to do? Start with 20 people and then ramp it up? No, you've got to employ the whole kit, the whole caboodle, from a year before you even fire the engine up. Fucking mad. Right, let's start the descent. Wow.
Engineers away from rival teams, Cadillac has had to pay above average salaries, It's expensive,
What?
but it's
Above average salaries.
just here
They've
to
already got
exist.
more people
They're
than
here
Haas.
between the
What?
facilities, the staff, the wind tunnel, the
Jesus
entry fee. Cadillac's
Christ.
$1 billion budget isn't the headline. It's a necessity.
Ah,
Because
yeah.
in Formula One, standing still costs you everything.
Oh my God, bro! It's not a headline. It's a.
You can build the best facilities in the world, but in Formula One, it's the people who make the car fast. Cadillac knows that.
Yeah.
And from the very start, they have spent big, not just on buildings or technology, but on people. Former
Right on the coast, innit? Luanda.
was hired as team principal in late 2024.
Graham Loudon.
Man
Now,
with
he'll probably
experience,
explain this, but Graham Loudon was team principal at Mana Marussia from like 2010 to 2013, 14 maybe. He'll probably just about to say that, but yeah, Graham Loudon has got previous in the game, so he's crucial. So it's a good appointment having Graham Loudon as team principal actually, because he's done it before with a new team. Because there was I think there was 3 new teams joined in 2010, and 2 of them dropped out 3 years later. You know, and in fact all 3 of them are now, all 3 of them are gone, and then Haas joined. Because we had in 2010, Marussia joined, which became Mana. Caterham joined, which became Team Lotus. Or did it start off at Team? No, it started off as Team Lotus and then became Caterham. And then you had. Did Virgin Racing become Marussia? I was right. Was it Virgin Racing which became Marussia, which became Mana? And then you had Caterham. Right. No, this was it. Right. It was Team Lotus, which then became Caterham, which then folded. It was Virgin Racing, which was Richard Branson, which became Marussia, which became Mana, which is what Graham Loudon was boss of. And they lasted about 3 or 4. Both of them lasted about 3 or 4 seasons. And then you had HRT, who were dreadful. They joined in 2010 as well. Then they lasted until about the end of 2012. And they were 7 seconds off the pace and stuff. But notably, HRT gave Daniel Ricciardo his debut in 2011 British Grand Prix, which I was at. HRT. Also, they ran Bruno Senna, Senna's nephew, HRT. They only lasted 3 seasons, and Caterham and Marussia only lasted about 3 or 4 seasons. But Graham Loudon was team principal of Virgin Racing, which became Marussia, which became Mana. I think that's the series of events, but it was a complicated few years.
Managing underdogs and a reputation for building.
He was an underdog. He was a manager of a big
first
underdog.
job, find drivers who could lead Cadillac into battle.
See, he didn't explain what I just explained because it's too complicated.
And free agents, but ultimately
all he said was he's got experience in underdog teams. He couldn't be bothered going into what I've just got into there because it was a failure. But Graham Loudon was boss of that failure. No, he did well with the limited budget and whatever. He's got experience. So actually, when I found out they got Graham Loudon as team principal and not some guy that they've not fished someone over from NASCAR and said run an F1 team, off you go. They've actually got someone who's got real experience in the game. So fair play to him. Graham Loudon appointment, big ups. It's good. It's a good move.
And that's where Cadillac's first major signings came in. Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez.
And what a lineup that is as well. A Bottas-Perez lineup is exactly what they need as well. It's a good lineup, that.
Most dominant teams.
Yeah.
Mercedes.
Well, that's it. Yeah, they've a decade each in 2 massive teams. Bottas got what did he do? About 7 seasons at Mercedes. Perez about the same, well maybe about 5 seasons at Red Bull. Brilliant. And both have had 15-year careers in F1, had a year out and then they're back. Driver lineup, fantastic. And team principal, fantastic. You could have given dues for that. They could have, because I expect them to bring either or Bottas and Perez, and then try and debut some 21-year-old American from like IndyCar Juniors or something like that. That's what I expected. I expected them to try and just chuck an American in just to say, right, there's an American on the grid. I've dropped the controller again. Oh, you fucking twat. I've dropped the controller again. I'm not fell asleep. Whoa! That's a first on the World Tour. Jesus wept. On the descent as well. Are we all right? Is everything back under control? Right, anyway. Yeah, I did expect them to go either or with Bottas and Perez, or better Perez. Pick one of them and then try and lunge for an American driver just to say that there's an American on the grid. But they haven't done that. They've gone sensible with it, and they've got 2 experienced drivers, which is what they're going to need from the off. Maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, then you get an American in when the team's, when the team's got its foot in, so to say. When it's more established is the word I'm looking for. When the team's established 3 or 4 years down the road, then you can like look for an American and say, right, now you stick American in, we get some points, maybe get a podium or something, 3 or 4 years down the line. But starting off with Bottas, Perez and Graham Loudon at the helm, very sensible.
Over 2 decades of F1 experience and more than 350 race starts.
Yeah.
For a brand new team, that's gold.
It is.
Here's where things get complicated.
Go on.
Because there's a third name in the mix.
Okay.
And his story could change everything. Colton Herta. An IndyCar race winner. And Andretti's longtime golden boy.
Right.
He's fast, fearless.
See, I would have thought,
the perfect driver to become the face of Cadillac.
Well, that's what I thought they would have done from the
There's
off.
just one problem.
What?
He doesn't yet qualify to race in
That's
the
what's
FIA
stopping it.
requires 40 super license
Super license points.
And despite all his IndyCar success, Herta doesn't have enough.
Well, has he got
so
30
Cadillac
odd?
are sending him back, not to IndyCar.
And
but
how
to
old is
Formula
he?
2. The junior series.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Rebel F1.
I did see this the other day. This got announced. When there was this video made 2 days ago. Yeah, this got announced 2 or 3 days ago that Colton Herta is going to F2. And then if he does well in F2, he'll then surpass the 40 super license points and then bang, then you're in. See, fully. Listen, hands up, hats off. This is good.
If he finishes 10th with a few F1 practice
Yeah.
runs, he'll earn the points.
He'll earn the points, so he only got to finish
7th.
10th.
It's a bold move.
It's a
And
bold
little
move, but
humility for
it's the right thing to do.
But it just shows how determined
Yeah.
Cadillac are to get him on the grid.
Oh, back it,
Which
brilliant.
brings us a fascinating
We're a bit
subject.
high up here, aren't we?
Bottas and Perez might have multi-year deals, but those contracts likely include team options, meaning if Herta earns his license, one of them could lose their seats.
Well,
From the very first race in Melbourne,
That's the game, though, isn't it?
battle inside Cadillac will be fierce as
Well,
well.
that's it, yeah. Yeah,
For
Bottas and Perez have got to prove that they're the one to lead the team into the future with Colton Herta on the sidelines, yeah. Yeah.
Carry America's hopes into
I wonder
Formula
that's a
Together,
quite a good debate, that really. Who finishes ahead at the end of 2026? Bottas versus Perez at Cadillac. Who is the one that's going to be leading that team? I'll say Sergio Perez will have the upper hand on Valtteri Bottas somehow. But Valtteri Bottas is, I don't know, I think Sergio Perez has got more to prove in a way. Valtteri Bottas, I think Valtteri Bottas will be more relaxed and be grateful of another chance in F1, and he'll be more chilled out, and I think that Sergio Perez will have more grit between his teeth, and I think Sergio Perez will want to prove that he's still the man, he's still got it. Mexico's going to be back in the game. He's going to want to be a hero still, Sergio Perez. I think Sergio Perez is going to have more determination than Valtteri Bottas. So I'll say that Perez beats Bottas because I think Perez has got more to prove, because people probably think he's just washed up and, Verstappen destroyed him and see you later. So I think that Sergio Perez will have more of a bit between his teeth to prove that he's still got it. So I'll go Sergio Perez, and then maybe the future goes Perez, Herta, and Bottas just retires and says, well, I had one more dib at F1 and I'm absolutely chilling, and he'd probably be fine with it. But if Bottas beats Perez, then, well, that is the end of Sergio Perez's career, put it that way.
These three drivers represent the heart of Cadillac's gamble. experience.
Right, I
talent,
need to concentrate
and
here.
race,
What's going
all
on
fighting
here?
to make America
Got a bit of,
competitive again in the world's toughest sport.
We've got a bit of turbulence going on as well, haven't we? Right, let's have a look here.
For Cadillac, just getting to Formula One was
We'll
a
have to come
victory in
out, when
itself,
we get to about
because
here,
make
we'll have
no
to come
mistake,
out a little bit
the
like
road
that,
here
and then
was brutal.
in that
From
angle.
day one,
That's
Sports
how it
Elite
is.
tried to keep them out. When Andretti first launched their Formula One project back in 2021, the idea was simple: buy an existing team and bring American racing back on the grid. They approached Sauber, then Haas, but both deals
Do you know what? I'm
collapsed.
going to come
Undeterred,
straight down to
Michael
3.
Andretti filed a new
like
application
we're a bit
directly
high.
to FIA in 2022 to create a fresh independent team. But Formula One's power brokers pushed back hard. Teams like Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari didn't want an 11th entry taking a share of the prize pool. Toto Wolff said it plainly: why should we give up a part of our revenue for someone new? Andretti's bid was rejected. 1
Because
year later,
because
they
I'll
came
tell
back.
you why, Toto. Because more teams, especially an American team at this day and age, more teams means more eyes watching, means more television revenue, means more. Basically, more teams equals more money in the pot over the long term, because you're going to get more American eyes watching. Listen, I don't love this American revolution that Formula One's turning into, with a race, it'd be bloody race in every state before I'm bloody 50. But the bottom line is, more eyes watching is more money, and so more teams is always better. More teams is the holy grail, in my opinion, of Formula One, because a team dropping out. What if Alpine decide, oh, it's not for us, this? You know, what if they reject Cadillac, right? And then they reject Cadillac, and then 2 years down the line, Alpine, i.e. Renault, decide it's not for us, it's not working, we're at the back, we've given up our engine project, we've got a Mercedes in the back of it, are we even Renault anymore? It's costing us 500 million a season, it's not worked, we're pulling out, right? Oh, Haas, Gene, who's the fella? Who's the Haas? Gene Haas could decide. Listen, we've had a decade. We've had a couple of podiums, whatever it may be, right? We never won a race. We had a couple of podiums with Roman Grosjean 8 years ago. It's not working. We're hemorrhaging money. Let's go back to America and NASCAR and IndyCar, where we win every week. And this F1 game is just hoovering up money, and we're not getting much out of it brand-wise and commercially. It's not worth it to do. You know, Haas could pull the plug. Alpine could pull the plug. The rest of them, I feel, are pretty solid. Red Bull might decide one day that 2 teams is enough. 2 teams is too much, and they might go down to 1 team. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? So Toto Wolff, then your 10 solid team thing, all of a sudden, if Alpine pull the plug, bang, you're down to 9. The grid's looking thin. If Haas pull the plug, bang, you're down to 8, and the whole sport's in destitute. Then you're in serious issues. So more is better. A new team coming onto the grid should be welcomed with open arms. I've always said this, and. Listen, I know they might have to take a hit. Day one, they take a hit because, now the pie's got to be cut 11 ways instead of 10. But in the long term, it's better. More eyes, more money, more teams, more seats, more drivers, more. I mean, everything's better. It's more.
This time with a heavyweight partner, General Motors. The plan? A joint team called Andretti Cadillac. The FIA approved the project, but Formula One itself said no. Another year of lobbying followed. Debates in boardrooms, calls with Liberty Media, pressure from politicians and fans, until finally in November 2024, the tide turned. Cadillac's bid was accepted. The 11th team on the grid was official.
Get
But
in.
It didn't happen because F1 wanted them. It happened because they refused to give up.
Yeah, we're going to get to about the coast here, and then I'll come in like that a little bit.
For all the $1 billion
and then we'll line it
investment,
up like
Cadillac's
that.
debut season will be a reality check. Every new team dreams big, but Formula One is brutal. Success isn't built in one day, or even.
Can't see the runway yet, but.
Despite Cadillac's incredible
Oh no, I
resources,
can actually over there. No, I can see the runway.
else. When the lights go out in Melbourne 2026,
I think.
Cadillac will be the first team in nearly a decade to enter Formula One from scratch, and history shows.
I
how
think we're all
hard
right.
it
I'm
is.
just going to fly
When Haas
straight in
joined
as an
in
arrow.
2016, they shocked
I'm not even
everyone
gonna
by scoring
deviate.
points on debut. but that was thanks to their Ferrari partnership. They bought as many components as the rules allowed: suspension, gearbox, engine, everything short of the chassis itself. Cadillac are following a similar playbook. For their first 4 seasons, they will run Ferrari customer power units. That gives them reliability and proven performance right out of the box.
Right, so
But
running
it also
Ferrari
means
power units.
limitations. They can't fully control how the engine integrates over their own chassis design, cooling system, or aerodynamics. Combine that with their late start in
they're
development.
going to be on the
Much
back.
of
They're going to be at the
2025 was
back.
just spent building facilities and hiring staff, and it's clear Cadillac will enter the 2026 season on the back foot. The expectation:
Definitely.
finishing races, gathering data, and building foundation. Anything
Well,
more
that's
than
it.
that,
You know,
but
that's it. You know, you've got to be there, play the game, and yeah. That's not the runway there, is it? Yeah, it is. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We're in trouble here. Oh, we're in trouble. I might have to do a go-round. I'm not going to get this slowed down, am I? I'm not going to get this slowed down, am I? Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Oh my god, it's the opposite of the previous flight, isn't it? Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down. Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. We can do this. I'm landing it. Whoa, no go-rounds needed, baby. Well, that's how you do it. Nose dive it in. Oh my god, look at the state of this. Look at this. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, Christ on a bike. The world tour clings on. Not going up that runway, up that taxiway. Oh my god, I had to, do you know what? I backed off of all controls then because what am I doing putting that much risk into flight 94? What's going on here? Have I got a, what? Hey? Oh, is it, you have to go round here, do you? Yeah. Right, I have to go round there. We have to go back. Oh my god, that was interesting, wasn't it? I was too much focused on that video and not focused on landing the flipping plane then. I thought we were further out from the airport than we were, from the runway than we were, and then all of a sudden I just seen the runway. I'm like, nah, we're here already? Oh god, that was dodgy, that. Oh, the world tour clings on by the skin of its teeth. Shouldn't be putting this much risk in, this deep into the tour. You know what I'm going to say though, don't you? We're down. we are down. Oh Christ, that was. No, I can't be doing that. That was reckless. That, I'm not gonna lie, that was reckless. I should have just done the go around, really, in hindsight. But well, I was worried about a wing strike then as well. And nearly that was, but I didn't panic then. That was all my experience come in then, because it was looking like a potential wing strike and therefore the end of the world tour, and I just backed. I didn't panic and swerve the plane the other way, because I could in previous, you know, if this had been at the beginning of the world tour, I might panic then, swerve the other way, and definitely crashed. But I kept a cool head there, and there was a split-second decision where I'd just come off the controls and just let it level out and not put any mad input in. You know, that's what's just saved that world tour. Then I just backed off on everything and didn't panic and swerve it the other way to try and level it out, because I've done that in the past where I've gone, whoa, we're going to wing strike on that side, like the plane's like, you know, at such a degree where we're going to, and then I've swerved it the other way and got a wing strike on the other side because I've reacted too much. But I know I was cool, calm and collected in that split second, and that's what's meant the world tour has survived there. But wow, by the skin of the teeth, that'd get in the highlight reel of landings, wasn't it, that one? I think that was the dodgiest landing since about flight 4 or 5, when I was really wagging the tail. I think it was into Luxembourg or something like that, or maybe Brussels. One of the first handful of flights, I was really wagging the tail coming in. And then I think after that I was like, no, I've got to settle down here if I want to have any longevity to this tour. And since then I've been pretty reserved. There's been a couple of dodgy landings, like the one in Rimini, Italy. I was there's a second little runway here as well. Yeah, smaller runway. We just go right across. Not even. Yeah, let's park it up over here. But yeah, there's been a couple of dodgy landings, but that was up there. Oh, are we gonna hit this? No, where are we going? Should we just go? Should we just? Whoa, dude! Let's just get this thing parked up. Just park it up, please. Alright, that'll do. Oh, and breathe. Oh. Yeah, seatbelts have been on the whole time. Well, you'd be grateful for that now. Right, what did I predict? 50 minutes. We might have beat that with that kind of a descent. Let's have a look. Well, 51 minutes and 2 seconds. Welcome to Luanda, Angola. Wow, what a risky last couple of minutes of the flight that was. Yeah, I was putting the flaps out way too. We were way too fast coming in then. Way too fast. I should have. But I was so focused on this bloody Cadillac video. I need to remember. Once I'm in final descent, I need to just stop whatever I'm watching or listening to and focus on landing the plane. That's the lesson from Flight 94. It's only taken 94 flights to drill that into my head. But, yeah. We're down safely. Kinshasa to Luanda is done. We had a detour at the beginning as well. What a dramatic, Oh, and what did I say? When I started the video, I said, oh, back to normal proceedings. Yeah. If that's normal proceedings, we're done for. Yeah, I said, oh, no issues, no normal proceedings. Let's get it underway. Normal 50-minute flight. That was far from normal. It was the opposite. The previous flight, I'm cruising at 1,000 feet, 140 knots for 10 minutes. This one, nose diving, swerve, nearly a wing strike. Just about leveled it out by not panicking. And we are down FZAA to FNLU. We are in Luanda, Angola. This is the 4th of February airport. Maybe that's a significant date in their history, I would imagine. So. Maybe it's when they got the independence. Who knows? But 4th of February airport it is in Luanda. Join me next time. What are we in? We're still in the UK time zone here, so 20 to 5 local time. Outside air temperature 29 degrees. There you go. You've been waiting for that one. Join me next time. Please do drop a like and hit that bell icon to receive all notifications of future flights on this Flawless 195 World Tour. Next up is Zambia. We're heading to Lusaka, Zambia. I think we're heading east. It's maybe slightly southeast, but I think it's east over to Zambia from here. But yeah, we're down. I should have gone around then. Really, I should have gone around. But I've got confidence with the plane. It's quite manoeuvrable. Really, you can swerve it in last minute, and you can. It has got manoeuvrability to it. If it was in a big jumbo jet, a 747 or something, 100% it would have been a go around. But then a 747 ain't going to deal with the short runways and stuff. So Airbus A320 is the perfect plane to do this world tour in. But anyway, we're down. We're down safely, might be pushing it, but we're down in some regard. And the world tour, by the skin of its teeth, continues. Join me next time when we head to Lusaka, Zambia. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the Cadillac video. There's some surprises for me in there, and they're risking it all. Big ups Bottas, big ups Perez, big ups Graham Loudon. I hope they do the business in 2026. But that's all from me. Bye for now. See you next time.